श्रीमती महुआ मोइत्रा।
Pradhan, Mr. Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, I would really request you, since you've been here for the better half of 1 hour, ये भी सुनते हुए जाइए सर, डरिए मत, डरिए मत सर, डरिए मत, 2 बार आ गए सर. You came to my area twice during the campaign, sir. आज तो सुन के जाइए सर. ये देश ही अपना हासिल है, जहाँ राम प्रसाद भी बिस्मिल है. मिट्टी को कैसे बांटोगे? सबका ही खून तो शामिल है. But the ruling party has paid a very heavy price for throttling the voice of one MP. ये तुम लोगों के नाम जपों में पहले सा आराम नहीं. ये तुम लोगों के नाम जपों में पहले सा आराम नहीं. जबरदस्ती के जय श्री राम में सब कुछ है, पर राम नहीं. हिंदुस्तान से मेरा सीधा रिश्ता है. तुम कौन हो बे? तुम कौन हो बे? क्यों बतलाऊं तुमको कितना गहरा है?
श्रीमती महुआ मोइत्रा।
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, sir, my esteemed colleagues in the 18th Lok Sabha, I stand here on behalf of my party. Pradhan, Mr. Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, I would really request you, since you've been here for the better half of 1 hour, ये भी सुनते हुए जाइए सर, डरिए मत, डरिए मत सर, डरिए मत, 2 बार आ गए सर. You came to my area twice during the campaign, sir. आज तो सुन के जाइए सर. Never mind, my bad luck. But the ruling party has paid a very heavy price for throttling the voice of one MP. मुझे बैठाने का चक्कर में जनता ने आपके 63 सदस्यों 63 जन को परमानेंटली बैठा दिया. You have gone down from 303 to 240. This is not a stable government. It depends on multiple allies with a history of U-turns. It has not got a simple majority. The BJP is 32 short of 272. It is going to be a very hard landing for the treasury benches, as was obvious today. This time there are 234 warriors this time, firmly united, and we have walked through fire to walk through these doors. So you will not be able to shut us up this time the way you did last time. The address mentions that after decades of shutdowns and strikes, the Kashmir Valley has voted in an atmosphere of stability and security. But if abrogating Section 370 was such a good idea, why did the ruling party, the BJP, not even dare to put up candidates in the 3 valley seats of Anantnag, Baramulla and Srinagar? If 370 was such a big deal and you were going to campaign on the basis of 370, you did not even dare to fight the seats. The Kashmir Valley has voted in MPs who were against your 2019 decision. You downgraded Ladakh into a union territory. You told them it was a temporary move. Today, 5 years later, the Ladakhis are still waiting. They have not got back their statehood. You have not given them a legislature. You have not included them in the 6th schedule. You have not given their demand of 2 separate seats of Leh and Kargil. As a result, in the current Lok Sabha, the Ladakhis have relegated you to 3rd position in the Lok Sabha. You lost it. The address mentions about how India is apparently the 3rd largest domestic aviation hub of the world. In truth, India's airports have become domestic hazard hubs. First in Jabalpur, then in Delhi, then in Rajkot. Newly constructed airports have canopies falling down, killing people. The newly constructed Rampath in Ayodhya has had 3 cave-ins in the last week. The Pragati Maidan tunnel is flooded. The Atal Setu has developed cracks. The Ram temple's roof is leaking. This is exactly what happens when infrastructure is poorly planned and rushed in order for photo opportunities by the supreme leader. भैया हमको बैठाना आप पे बहुत भारी पड़ा. हमको मत बिठाइए, बहुत भारी पड़ा आप पे, बहुत भारी पड़ा. Where this parliamentary democracy was replaced by a monstrous super cult, the cult of the supreme leader, the non-biological leader born of the Paramatma, who stood in this house and proclaimed, "Ab ke baar 400 par and ek akela kitno pe bhari pada." This was the turning point This was the turning point when the destiny of the ruling party changed. Whether in Greek mythology, whether in Indian mythology, if you act with arrogance towards the gods, you will be punished. We have 33,000 gods in India. But in our democracy, the most supreme of them is the Gana Devata, the Lord of the people, and they have punished you. You may have formed a government again, but yours is a Pyrrhic victory. A victory which inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it is tantamount to a defeat. In Bengal, the supreme leader started his Vijay Sankalp Yatra on March 1st in the constituency of Arambagh. Then came to Krishnanagar, then came to Barasat, ended on May 29th in Calcutta. मेरे ऊपर तो विशेष कृपा की उन्होंने दो बार आए. The BJP lost all these seats. The Honorable Prime Minister did 23 campaign meetings in Bengal and lost in 20 seats. In Maharashtra, the Honorable Prime Minister campaigned in 18 seats. The NDA lost in 15 of them. एक अकेला कितनों पे भारी पड़ा. In Punjab, he campaigned in Hoshiarpur, in Jalandhar, in Patiala, in Gurdaspur. The BJP all lost all the 4 seats. एक अकेला कितनों पे भारी पड़ा. In Rajasthan, he campaigned at Banswara with the most disgraceful references to Muslims in outright violation of the law. The EC kept quiet. Not only did the BJP lose Banswara by over 2 lakh votes, the BJP, which had won 25 on 25 in 2019 and won the state government only months ago, came down to 14 seats. Ek akela kitno pe bhari pada. 3 states, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bengal, account for 170 seats. That is exactly 1/3 of India. The BJP won in only 54 of them. Ek akela kitno pe bhari pada. In 2019, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, had taunted the now leader of the opposition by saying that he must have used a microscope to find that one single seat in India where the minority were in majority. Honorable Chairperson, sir, it is so ironic that today the majority needed no microscope to turn the BJP into a minority. जहाँ भी majority है, वहीं आप ही minority बन गए. आप तो घुस-घुस के मारने वाले थे ना, इस बार तो जनता ने घुस-घुस के मार दिया. How ironic is it today that 20 ministers in the union cabinet are dynasts? How ironic is it that the Honorable Prime Minister has to take to social media himself to tell people that no, it is not Modi ka parivar, it is NDA, the Nitish Naidu dependent alliance. In January, the Honorable Prime Minister consecrated the unfinished Ram temple in Ayodhya. He said he was tasked with the divine duty of bringing Ram Lalla home. The Ram Mandir was going to ensure that not only would the BJP cross 400 seats, but that this government would last 1,000 years. The last time in history that we heard of a 1,000-year vision was during the Third Reich. This was the second time that we've heard of it. But then ultimately, Lord Ram said, stop, not in my name. Oti dorpe hoto Lanka. Too much arrogance, too much pride caused you to lose the kingdom of Lanka. The BJP lost in Ayodhya, Faizabad, where the temple is. It lost in Banda Chitrakoot, where Lord Ram meditated. It lost in Shravasti, where the son of the Honorable Prime Minister's ex-secretary said, my father has built the temple, campaigned in his name, you lost there. All the seats around Ayodhya, Basti, Sultanpur, Ambedkar Nagar, the BJP lost. ये तुम लोगों के नाम जपों में पहले सा आराम नहीं. ये तुम लोगों के नाम जपों में पहले सा आराम नहीं. जबरदस्ती के जय श्री राम में सब कुछ है पर राम नहीं. जबरदस्ती के जय श्री राम में सब कुछ है पर राम नहीं. Today in India, there are 2 types of leaders. Those of us who come via the voting machine, and then there are many who come via the washing machine. There are still people who say, wait, you don't know Modi ji. Wait 6 months and see. The BJP will get 300 members. To them I say, no, this will not happen this time. Because every potential turncoat will have to choose between temporary greed or fear and between permanently becoming politically irrelevant. So you can offer you can accept a temporary offer of a ministry. You can accept a temporary settlement of an existing trumped-up CBI or ED case. And you can switch parties, but when you go back to the electorate will punish you. Most turncoats have been punished by the electorate. This new India, this new frame of reference is going to be very hard for a lot of interest groups. Perhaps the first casualty is the legacy media. The Godi media was its own worst victim. The brown-nosing TV anchors and online trolls lied, spread fake information, amplified the government's propaganda. So-called psephologists who actually had printing contracts from the government of India were on TV 24/7 acting like the election was a done deal. There was no need for voting. The BJP had already won. Media moguls organized conclaves where they prostrated themselves before the Vishwa Guru. Anchors used staged interviews and set up scripts. In short, the media had lost all credibility. So when you asked the people during surveys which way they voted, they didn't trust you and they didn't tell you the truth, which is why you got it wrong. Ram Kamal Jha, the editor of the Indian Express, remarked that some media owners were so comfortable on their knees that it hurts to stand up. To them we say, please stay where you are. There is a new generation of journalists in India today with spine, with integrity and with courage. A media you have done your best to silence with fake cases and attempts and censorship, but they have survived and they will thrive in the digital space. In the last year, a lot of people look at me and say, oh, Mahua, you must have lost a lot. You lost your membership, you lost your house. And by the way, I also lost my uterus due to a surgery. But you know what I gained? I gained what Rahulji said, the freedom from fear. I do not fear you. I will see the end of you. We will see the end of you. Your ED, your CBI, your income tax, your trolls, your media, your bought-out judges, nobody can scare us. The people of India are patient. They will wait patiently for this government to fall. And I hope that whoever writes the next speech for the Honorable President of India will give her the respect and the honor due by not filling it with falsity. This government has dishonored the office of the President by giving her a script that is full of lies. We wait, and the people of India wait, for the restoration of her honor and for the honor of her august office.